Did we miss a memo here, guys? Is gold the color of the day today?
I didn't get the memo.
Man.
Randy's got the tie.
Yeah, I got.
on.
Hey, Juju, Coach Steichen, I got the memo up here. These four nerds didn't. I got us.
So maybe that's the theme today. Randy's got the golden tie.
We right?
The golden tie and the golden touch. Meanwhile, another of the big stories today, Shedeur Sanders making his first career start. I want you to read all the names on this list, or at least I challenge you to try. He's the 42nd different Browns starting quarterback since they returned to the NFL in '99. It is by a wide margin the most different starters for any team in that span. Jeez. Just keep reading the names. They just keep on coming. Here's the head coach on Shedeur this week.
He's excited about the opportunity, but he's so focused on the work that goes into it. So I do see significant growth from Shedeur and all these young guys.
With the circumstances, everything got to be sped up, and that's great. You know, I like pressure in life. I would be doing a disservice to myself and disservice to the organization if I didn't feel like I am the guy. I'm just excited for everything. So, you know, I feel like I'm the guy. I know I'm the guy, but, you know, you just have to be able to see. The game got to speak.
Fascinating game. Domino's pregame headquarters is where we find Shefty with more. Shefty.
All right, Greeny, speaking to the Browns this weekend, they said Shedeur Sanders had a strong week of practice, put in extra work, did everything he could to get ready for today. This has been a different season and circumstance for Shedeur than he's used to in the past. In the past, he has been the guy with his father, Deion Sanders, as his coach. This is the first time that he has not been the guy with Deion Sanders not being his head coach. This has been a different situation. They're expecting him to respond today, but let's also keep in mind from a big picture, like if he goes out and plays well today, he'll have the chance to continue on because you're not going to take a quarterback that wins and plays well and put him on the bench. They've already gotten their look at Dillon Gabriel. Now they get the chance to see Shedeur Sanders. And let's also keep in mind over the big picture, when the Cleveland Browns took these two quarterbacks, they didn't take a quarterback high. They traded their pick and got 2 first-round draft picks in which most people believe they'll be back in the quarterback market in 2026. This was their chance this season to take a look at both their rookie quarterbacks in the event that they could hit on one of them. They've seen what they have in Dillon Gabriel, and now today is their chance to see what they have in Shedeur Sanders,
who I will remind you threw 134 touchdowns in 4 years of college. So, Rex, Shedeur Sanders getting the start. Give me 2 words to sum up your reaction.
About time. And about time because you got the lefty quarterback in there who, by the way, this is a size-speed league, the NFL is. He's short and left-handed. I don't like that combination. He reminds me of the coach from the Saints, and he couldn't play either. Like, he's a backup quarterback. You drafted the damn backup quarterback. At least Shedeur has starter abilities. He can throw the football. He can spin it. All right? So, and he's tough as hell. Like, those are the 2 qualities I loved about Shedeur coming out. Now, look, I don't love everything about Shedeur, all right? No question about it. I hated the fact that he's sitting over there, thinks he's the man, all right? That's great. You know, Ray Robinson used to say, you know, you got to think you're a champion when nobody else does. Well, he certainly has that. But don't disrespect the game either. And to me, I thought last week when he's sitting there on the sideline like this, like it was the 7th game of the World Series, when a superstar, a real superstar, a first ballot Hall of Fame quarterback plays your position, is out there looking for you, you ought to be looking for him. It ain't always about you. So to me, look, get it. It's a chance to play here. Lamar was looking for the guy and all that. Grow up a little bit. I want to see this guy become a superstar. I absolutely do. I know he's got great touch on the deep ball. He's playing against a garbage defense. We saw what Dallas did last week. Alex, you were going to talk about that.
Listen, and I don't care how well he spins it, Rex, unless he can deal with pressure this week. Unlike last week, he doesn't have a chance in this league. And again, that's what the Ravens did. Every single pass play last week was they brought pressure, and this guy didn't have an answer. And it wasn't just him, it was the entire offense. But this is a critical play in the game. It is 3rd and 5. There's a minute left. It is a 1-score game. And again, every single pass play, you see they bring pressure off the slot, and Shedeur throws a jump ball to a guy that none of us know. And again, a rule of thumb, I don't care if it's high school, college, or pro, is when you get pressure here off the slot, you throw into pressure. That is Jerry Jeudy wide open for a conversion and a huge play in this game. And instead, again, you throw this up in the back of the end zone. And guess what? I know the Raiders defense is terrible. They saw this tape. They are going to come after him today and challenge him. He holds on to the ball too long. His offensive line is terrible, right? And again, you better have answers, whether it's protection adjustments and getting yourself all cleaned up or throwing hot. You better have answers. You've had a week of preparation to do this. And I agree, it is a huge opportunity, but we need to see progress today, I guess, against a porous defense.
Yeah, and let's take everything we see today from Shedeur Sanders with a grain of salt, because this is the first day in the development, hopefully a long career for this young man. I hope he plays well, but this has been botched by the Cleveland Browns from the get-go.
Yeah.
I mean, you draft these two quarterbacks. Your starter is Joe Flacco. You get rid of him, and so now you've got two rookies that are 1 and 2 on the depth chart. I've always been taught by the quarterbacks that I've talked to how important the room is. Yeah. The quarterback room. What kind of mentor does Shedeur Sanders have right now? Dylan Gabriel? I'm sure he feels like, I'm better than this kid. We're both rookies. I'm better than this kid. Bailey Zappe's there. He's got 9 career starts. Where's the guy that's going to tell Shedeur, hey, man, don't sit on the bench like that. This is how we're supposed to do it. Or someone that shows him. Yeah. The room is botched. The quarterback room is botched, and that's what has to be fixed. Alex, number 1 overall pick. What was your quarterback room like?
Yeah, the moment I started, they traded away Tim Rattay, was the only veteran. And the two QBs were Ken Dorsey and Cody Pickett, both young guys who had a combined 1 start. Right? None of us knew. None of us knew
How'd
what
that
we
year
were
go
doing.
for you?
It was horrible. I spent hours in the film room by myself and had no idea what I was looking at. I didn't know what an NFL quarterback looked like. And you're exactly right. You learn as much from the guys in the room, from these veterans, and to have a guy like Joe Flacco in the room that you can. Hey, when the quarterback coach leaves the door and leaves the office, they can say, hey, don't listen to that. You do this. Right?
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
When this happens, you throw it right there, right?
Yeah.
Like you do need that, and you've got these 2 developmental guys. I think that's also odd, right? These guys are only 2 rounds apart, 3rd and 5th round picks. They're both trying to figure out this is an awkward situation, to say the least.
I don't think what I saw last week and what we're going to see today has anything to do about who his father is. Last week, I don't think Shedeur Sanders planned on prepared himself throughout the week of preparation to go in there against a very tough Baltimore Ravens defense. So they threw him in the fire. It didn't look so good, Alex. But you heard what Coach Stefanski said. I seen a change in my quarterback. So now, Rex, your young quarterbacks, yes, we're going to see some mistakes. But I heard it from the head coach. He's seen some changes in his young quarterback. He has a week to prepare, going against a not-so-good Las Vegas Raiders defense. So today, what am I expecting to see? I'm expecting to see the offensive coordinator, Tommy Rees, being able to move the pocket with Shedeur Sanders. Give him those easy throws, and I'm talking about the easy throws. You know I talk about quarterback's best friend. That's a tight end. He has Njoku and has a rookie in Fannin, and you showed Jared Judy. So he has playmakers out there. I just want to see if the coach and the offensive coordinator can put him in a great position to succeed with easy throws, getting the ball in.
Go ahead.
No, the last thing that I think we have to remember in all this is that I can't get this out of my head. Shedeur Sanders telling the Baltimore Ravens not to draft him, right? Again, this was a situation where he would have been the only young quarterback learning from a Hall of Famer, right? In a much better situation when he got his opportunity. Instead, he chose this, right, to go to a place where they also drafted a guy 2 rounds ahead of you. Again, you've been playing second fiddle to this guy all year. You finally get your chance. And again, this offensive line is bad. I know they're playing the Raiders, but they still got this guy named Max Crosby.
This is the game you want to start versus the Raiders. Here we go.
You kind of made this bed too if you were Shedeur and the people telling him to make these decisions.
Yeah, no, I get that. I just never understood why Cleveland would trade up if you weren't even giving him a chance in training camp. But that's another story. The biggest thing I look for today, and this to me will tell you if Shedeur is going to play well or not, if he's able to stay in the pocket and throw the football, because the man is accurate when he throws it. My biggest problem is he plays young, and what I mean by that is he'll scramble out of the back of the pocket. That's a disaster.
Why is he scrambling out? Why is he scrambling out of the back of the pocket?
The back of the pocket, number one, is this. He thinks he's athletic enough to get away from the rush. He's not. All right? This is not Lamar Jackson. This is not Josh Allen. All right? So to me, he can't do it. That's what we want you to do. That means sacks. Watch what happens. They will get, they'll get 8 sacks in this game. No, it's the Raiders. They'll get 5 sacks in this game if he wants to spin it out of the back pocket. Sit in there. Great quarterbacks learn to step up. Look, Baker Mayfield, when he came in the league, he started escaping from the back of the pocket.
Another Cleveland
He now steps up in the pocket. That's what this young man has to do, in my opinion. I think he's accurate enough to be decent, but he's got to play the NFL game.
Let's go, Shedeur.
He finally gets his chance after being
the legendary
44th pick in the draft. He finally gets his opportunity today. Meanwhile, Drake May, he's been spectacular.
There's an NFL quarterback.
He steps up in the pocket.
Might be the MVP of the league.